Hey traders, this is Ezekiel Diligence from pitmountain.com. I'm here with your daily Apex trading review video. So just quick analysis of yesterday. Those of you that have seen the vids, so didn't really see an Apex here. There was nothing going on. We saw this channel, price broke above it, told me to break back down, tag the bottom of the channel, and then from there hit this bottom, saw this tweezer pattern, and then price decided to push right on up into today's price action. That's it there for you on the 15th, so you can have a better look. So on Euro Yen, we had this formation here. Apologies, the little guy's expressed himself this morning. So had this pattern here, had this breakout, no calls for entry really, that I was interested in. Obviously there's an aggressive one there for the aggressive traders, that short breakout, pull back in, and then they were off on a run. So I didn't really get involved in this pattern or this trade. You can see this gap here, and I'm cautious when I see these kind of gap moves. Obviously we're expecting price to pull back in, then price move back up, and then we gap down. So price has been meandering sideways since, and this is well, I guess most of the action was happening yesterday. So I saw this calls for entry, this gap, price moved up, so evidently we're looking for calls for entry within our zone. Price happened to pull back, so giving us that conservative opportunity to looking for something. And we had this loose pattern here, so we had this loose engulfing here. 2 bars before this, so this green and this red bar, essentially again another loose pattern. So loose pattern, then here next bar. So we see something again. IB Harami, it's looking okay. The high here is protruding beyond the previous high, but we've got the open and close well within, or within the confines I should say, of the bar in between. So only challenge of course is this, looking good. So what do? According to the rules of our plan, entries. So essentially this is our breakout bar, this is the low, of our bar. So we just want to go just a little bit below that. So yeah, I think that's fine, just a few bits below that. So essentially I think this was what we identified, and as you can see, price breaks out, then subsequently pulls back and we're stopped out. So stopped out for, I think it was 11 pips approximately. Yeah, just about 11 pips there, so one tag for 11, and then essentially we transition into our advanced consideration. So advanced consideration is then looking at our breakout pattern as a significant position of entry. So we do have this here, we've also got this really tiny pattern here. So if I'm looking for the best entry and I want to be conservative, I'm looking at coming down in here. So what do we see? We see price pull back, it's tagged us now, then we get this very nice engulfing bar. Again, these are not perfect prime patterns, these are loose patterns I'm identifying for you today. You can see this, and all of this is covered in the course material. You can see that we've got this big bar, and this again is protruding at the bottom. So evidently if you're looking for the best, the very, very best of opportunities, you're not taking this. So we see this here, again, we're measuring up top to bottom fundamentally. You can see that's about 12 pips. So we're looking for a break above this zone, and our stop now moves below this, the action bar. So what do we get? So price pulls up, then we get this incision bar, and then I just think within a bar or two we're involved in this trade. And as you can see, first target is a hit fairly nicely, second target's a hit very nicely, and price actually runs on beyond our target zone. So we do manage to get 2 targets on there. However, we were out, or we're -1 position to start within a day. And again, I've said this to you guys a number of times, this is why it's important, especially if you're trading Apex, for you to really consider the rules and to really look at this. Advanced considerations, once you're at that level, says I'm going to continue for X amount of trades to take the positions in the direction of the breakout. So it's not take them until you win. It's we can have a set number, so it's either you can take 3 or you're taking 4. I'm not going to take 5 trades in the same direction. There is a point. I think my limit is 3. According to my trade plan, my limit is 3. However, you've got to have the discipline to say, okay, I'm going to identify these patterns and I'm going to take them on when I see them. So that was that. So that was the early trade for yesterday. So moving into today's trade, let's just quickly have a look at what we've got here. Just going to jump back, see if we can identify any moves for the day. So looking at the hourly, and I am on cable. So looking at cable, what I can identify, I guess we've already got a breakout from there. So you've got this nice respect for this level here. You can see that. So we've got a high right there. And then fundamentally, we can look at this as a widening pattern. We've got a low here, and price moved right back in. So I guess essentially this would have been our last. No, it wouldn't. And low is in this region here. But of course, if you've seen me draw some of these patterns before, you have to bear in mind there's a tiny bit of discretion that's involved. So it's low to low, but we've got lows here. So I'm saying last 2 consecutive lows. You know the patterns, you know the rules. So I'm looking at this here, and this is a very, very clean symmetrical pattern. It's quite wicky. There's some wicks in there, but if we're looking at just the points, our pivot points, then obviously you're seeing this here, and this is a nice, very, very nice breakout. Unfortunately, we've missed that already. Last 45 minutes, the action's really taken place on this. Had a bit of a late night last night, working some training, etc. So I've missed this again. Looking at this, no calls for entry immediately. What we did have, can you measure that up? So our breakout bars here, yeah, breakout bars 132.56, and the real pattern of action is down here, and that's 22 pips. And I guess, honestly speaking, that's a little bit much for my liking anyhow. So I wouldn't have been involved in that. And let's just see if there's any. Right, 22. Yeah, I guess those looking for a 1-to-1 would have just met that. Okay, nothing there for us at the moment. See what's going on. So again, fairly nice pattern here. Got a low, and that's not the low at the moment. Candle still being printed. So we've got price respecting this level, as it were, all the way up there. And then we've got high. Yeah, so we've got this kind of pattern where our lines are meeting, our trend lines are meeting. You can see this little bit of a pattern that's not as clean as we usually expect it to be. Then we've already had a breakout here. So you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. You've got this rising support. It's this ascending support here. You can see that. You've got a ping and a ping. So you've got those 2 clear pivots. So you can see prices moved away from that zone. And what does that give us? That gives us our pattern jumping down to 15, and you can see, yeah, nothing. No real calls entry. Okay, here we go. So it looks like we might have a trade on right now. So that seems to be a very clean pattern. It's clean. It's not, again, it's not perfect. It's not prime, but it's okay. And if we're going back up, we'll get a fair few pips there. Breakout bars there. So we're looking at 26. And price is actually pulling back. So this is one of those positions where you need to be a little bit more mindful, because to be honest with you, obviously our pattern isn't the cleanest of patterns, and fundamentally we may see price pulling back up into the zone. Honestly, this pattern may kind of morph into something that looks a bit like this, but fundamentally where we are now, measuring up, just being honest with our points and being honest with ourselves, this is what we see at the moment. So I'm thinking if we get a pullback, maybe right into the zone, we get another calls for entry, we can get a breakout there. And just even looking a little closer, actually, what do we have right here on the money? All right, that's nice. Almost missed that. So breakout bar, yeah, 16, so that's a little bit better. So based on this, and what have we already got from that? Yeah. Sorry guys, I didn't want to really talk too much about that. Just had to quickly get involved in that. So essentially, we're back in that zone. This is there is a cause entry right there, and almost missed that. Almost missed that. And yeah, I'm just gonna. Just need to measure this up properly. Sorry guys. Alright, so let's do this correctly. So we've got our pattern right here going up. Oh, we're 16 for 16. Is that 16? Yeah, it is. Rounding it up to 17. Okay, and what have we got down here? So 114. 114.80. Okay, guys. Apologies. All right, so just had to grab that trade. There and that was breaking out, so it actually pulled back into the zone where our course for entry was. So I just wanted to really quickly capitalize on that trade just to see if we could do that. So that's great. And then euro dollar. So what have we got here on euro dollar? So it looks like we've already got a bit of a breakout here. So we've got a high right there. Nice looking pattern. Or nice looking lines, I should say. And then we had a really flat bottom. This was a very, very clean pattern. Very clean. Unfortunately, just a tad bit too late, guys. This is why you've got to remain disciplined and wake up on time if you're really determined to get involved in your patterns. I'm going to jump down to the 15, and you can see price has just run away here. Price has just run away. So our aggressive traders are really looking nice on this. Aggressive traders, if you're out there and you've got this, well done. So that's a quick 12. Looking at, you've got just above 15, and look at that, 12. So if we, of course, this is the breakout bar, and it protrudes above the level. I'd probably go just up a few pips. So I'd say 13. You've got 13 on your stop, and yeah, you're probably just getting that 13 now. So this is where we are, guys. I will be back later. Video's extended again, a little longer than I like it to. So happy days, happy trading. This is Ezekiel Diligence from pitmountain.com. Learn, execute, and profit.